The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 886. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. You can now purchase The Tao of Self-Confidence, a guide to moving beyond trauma and awakening the leader within on Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Walmart, Indigo, and other major book retailers. Get your copy today. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to The Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on the show today. She is a global contingent workforce procurement professional with process and program management experience, and I'm super excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Shivangi Bajpai. Shivangi, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Hey, hi, Sheena. Thank you so much for having me here on your podcast. And I'm excited to be sharing my stories with the listeners over here. Yes, I am a global workforce procurement professional, firm believer of change management, providing support to institutions with their contingent workforce.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm so glad we got to connect through the US PacWise program, which has been so amazing to meet amazing women like you and just being able to work together to create the changes we see and also create representation, which is so important. And Shivangi, what's your cultural background?
My cultural background is Indian. I come in from an Indian ethnicity. I was born in India, raised there, and I migrated to United States after my marriage 14 years back.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote is from Swami Vivekananda, which says, "If you think yourself strong, strong you will be."
I love that. I love that quote because, how we see ourselves, what we think of ourselves is so important. If you don't think you're strong enough, you're not going to go out there and do it. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not even going to take the first step towards your journey. And so it really does start with how we see ourselves, our perception of ourselves, learning that we can do it. We're strong, we're courageous, we can take action, and then everything else will follow. So I love that quote that you mentioned. And Shivangi, what's your definition of self-confidence?
Great question. My definition of self-confidence will again be feeling sure of oneself, about our own abilities, not in an arrogant way, but more in a realistic, secure way. It's not about feeling superior than others, but just kind of working on a quiet inner knowledge, how we're working on ourselves, accepting ourselves along with our flaws, because we are all made of the good and the bad. So accepting, working on our flaws, working on ourselves on a day in, day out basis, trusting ourselves, and most importantly, loving ourselves. The biggest love and affection we can give is first to ourselves, and then we exhibit it to others, to people around us, and then we can empower them. We can change the view they look at us, the view we exhibit and conduct ourselves.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Well, while growing up, I would want to share that the confidence me is because of the upbringing that my parents gave me. I was brought up in a very unconventional way, coming from an Asian Indian ethnic background, wherein there's a certain taboo and a preference for sons or males, and is motivated by the economic, religious, and social taboo. My parents did bring me up in a very confident, in a manner where I'm very secure about myself. They made me secure, and myself and my sister, they always brought up in a way that we have to be intellectually stimulated. We have to be very confident about our upbringing. My confidence did get a little shaken up when I migrated, and I was, I took a sabbatical of 4 years after my kids. So the ever soaring confidence was a little shaken along, where I was craving for a meaningful adult conversation because I was in the home taking care of the boys all day long. Sometimes those are the days when you crave for adult meaningful conversation, or for a meeting room, intellectual engagement, and just wondering in your mind, can I be like a good enough mom? Am I juggling correctly? Am I in the right place? Just because, you've moved from a country wherein, everything is new to you. You have a certain accent. Everything is pretty new. You're a new mom. You're in a new country. You're learning things in a new way. So I would say that was one period in my life wherein, my confidence was shaken up, and I was thinking, will I ever be able to get back into the workforce? Will I ever be good enough for everybody? But yeah, that was the moment where, after a long, contemplation within myself, I thought that it is just me who is stopping myself from the next step. It's us, it's within us. We have to combat our fear ourselves. We are on this journey which we have to conquer ourselves.
Thanks for sharing that. And it's so true, right? It doesn't matter what stage we are in our life. It's really up to us to go out there and make a decision and say, I can do this. Will it be easy? Probably not. There's going to be some challenges along the way, like anything else, but having that inner knowing that we're capable of making it happen is so important. And what was that point in your life when you realized, yeah, you can go out there and go back to work, build your confidence back? What was that aha moment?
My aha moment started the day when I embraced all of the insecurities that I had developed. I was able to embrace, and I had the self discovery, self awareness, and started to work on my own growth. I kind of, accepted that unconscious bias that I had created for myself, and just kind of, went out there. It was challenging, as you mentioned. It's never an easy road when we are into accepting a change, just kind of going into a road which is unpaved, which is new, which we are trying to walk all. It's kind of redoing stuff. We do studies, we do college, we do work, and then cut to you're a mom, you're sitting back home for 4 5 years, and then it's like going back to kindergarten again. It's like those same butterflies, or like mom leaving your finger. This time around, you're the mom, you're juggling stuff. And yeah, it was that aha moment wherein, when I stepped out, I gave my interviews, and I will be ever thankful to my peers, to all the wonderful women, and my mentors and the men around who supported me. And this country, honestly, the United States has been so embracing for me, welcomed me into not just the workforce but my social life, that my aha moment was like, okay, it was me who was stopping myself. It was not somebody else. And ever since then, the journey has been just wonderful. I have met so many wonderful ladies, and as you mentioned, even from the US back, I'm just learning the journey of all those women and saying, there's no perfect me, there's no perfect us. We just have to take that first step and then go on from there.
Thanks so much for sharing your story. And it's just proof that, we can just pick back up where we left off, right? Sometimes we feel like, especially as women, ageism is huge, right? We think we hit a certain age, we're expired, when really we're not. There's so many women out there in their 50s and 60s and 70s who are just starting their life, right? Who is doing amazing things and showing us that anything's truly possible. And yeah, being able to surround ourselves with amazing women, just like the US Pac Wise, it's been such a blessing. Also being able to meet them in New York, being able to spend time, take photos together, roam around New York City. I mean, as women, this is the type of support we definitely want from each other, so that we know we're not alone in this journey. And because of a realization, what's your life been like now?
It's been great. I have been able to not just feel confident as a mom, but as a human being, because there was this discovery of, this is what I wanted. Like, I was given the talent, I was given the support by my parents, I was given the support by my spouse, by my partner. I was given the vision so early in my life to be this wholesome human being who is not just able to kind of live the life of her choice, but also help support others, transform the life of others, help organizations be intellectually stimulated, grow every single day. So whether it is a diversity panel, whether it is supporting young girls coming to STEM and other fields of their choice. So ever since my aha moment, I've just felt very wholesome. It's the feeling that I was given the talent, support, and vision very early in my life. by my parents, and then the support that I got from my spouse and now from my boys. It just, my life feels wholesome, wherein as an individual, I'm not just able to be a good wife, a mom, a daughter, but also a workforce professional where I am supporting institutions. I am helping them kind of with with an organization, or being associated with an organization where I'm able to leverage my talent on a day in, on a day out basis. I am intellectually stimulated, and I am again, the road is never simple, because as women we tend to take a lot and we juggle between things, but it's been wholesome.
Thanks for sharing that. And to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
Well, today, when I'm speaking about my story, I really want to talk to, or I want to share with all the women on their own journey to self confidence about, just accept any kind of fears that we have. Take that first step. Let's not be in denial. Any higher purpose or dream that we have, it'll never be an easy road, whether, we're having a role of a mother, daughter, just a workforce professional. It is self confidence will be a self development. So it's not a personality trait, it's a skill. It can be practiced, it can be acquired, and it can be moved by our actions and practice every single day. It'll be a learning process.
Thanks for sharing that great tip. And Shivangi, if there's any, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yes, absolutely, Sheena. I'll be sharing my LinkedIn profile, and the listeners can, visit my profile to learn about the associations I have with different groups, wherein, I've been associated with groups for women returning back to work, or US PAC, or, other groups wherein I mentor girls on getting to the STEM stream and things on those lines. So I'd be glad to share that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Shivangi, you can also head on over to thetowofselfconfidence.com and search for Shivangi's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I just want to thank Shivangi today for taking the time to share her story and wisdom with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, Sheena. It was such a pleasure connecting with you. It was such a pleasure sharing my story with you and the listeners. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. It's such an honor having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. You can order your copy of Asian Women Who Boss Up book by visiting our website at thetowofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.